not C, then B. Let's get rid of the middleman. And then we have not B. That's from 1 and 9. And that was by hypothetical syllogism. So we just needed to do back-to-back hypothetical syllogisms to link up the conditionals. Okay? Not F and F. One says F then not, and some big old thing, G or H, and P if and only if Q, and close the brackets, and then line 2 says not P if and only if Q or G or H. 3 is P if and only if Q, and 4 is not F then F. Now I don't see not F and F anywhere as a unit, and I don't see its opposite in an antecedent. But since this is a conjunction, I can go get each piece one at a time and then just put them together by conjunction, okay? So I think the easiest thing to do is going to be go for the not F, which I'm going to extract from line 1 by doing a modus tollens, which means I need the opposite of this big thing. So it's just G or H and P if and only if Q, because we need the opposite, okay? So I have the P if and only if Q part. The G or H part is right here in an OR, so I need a not one of these, which I have right there on line 3. So that's the first step I'm going to do, is I'm going to do a disjunctive syllogism between 2 and 3, and that gets me G or H. 2, 3 on DS. Okay, and now I have the pieces to create the opposite of the consequent on line 1. I have G or H and P if and only if Q, and that came from 3 and 5 conjunction. Okay, this is the opposite of that, so I can do a modus tollens with 1 and 6, and what that gets me is not F. Okay, 1, 6 modus tollens. Now, interestingly enough, now we need an F, right? We can get an F in one of two ways. We can either do 4 and 7 modus ponens and get the F, or we could do 4 and 7 modus tollens and get the F. I'll just use modus ponens. F from 4 and 7 modus ponens. I have those two pieces, and now I'm just going to put them together. Not F and F, 7 and 8, conjunction, junction, what's your function? Okay, and that's 63. Okay, just a few more to go. We have to get M and N and O. And what do we have to work with? We have H then not P. 2, we have not M or N. And 3, we have not M, then not H and not P. And we have H and we have not P, then O. Okay. So if I look at this problem and I look for what I'm trying to get, M and N and O, I don't see that as a unit. And I don't see its opposite as the antecedent. Its opposite is the antecedent of a conditional, so I can't do modus tollens to get to it. So then I start thinking about this thing and I realize these are conjunctions, which means if I get an M and I get an N, I can put them together. And then if I had an O, I could add that on as well, okay, or conjoin it. So really, you should think of this problem as 3 separate problems. Get this by itself, get this by itself, get that by itself, and then you're going to conjoin them all together. So can we do it in order? Can we go for the M first? Well, we could. That would require, looking at line 3, that would require the opposite of this. In other words, it would require H and not P, H and not P. Let's see, do I have that? I have an H, so if I could get a not P, I could conjoin them together. And look, I can get a not P with 1 and 4. That gets me not P, 1, 4, modus ponens. And now I have these two parts, let me put them together. H and not P, 4 and 6, conjunction. Okay, we created a conjunction. So I have that, and I got that to do a modus tollens with line 3, 6, 7, 8. Gets me M from 3 and 7 modus. I lost track of where I was. 3 and, oh yeah, modus tollens. Okay, so now I have my M. So now let's focus on getting an N. Well, there's an N right there, it's in a disjunction, so if I have the opposite of not M, which is M, I can do a disjunctive syllogism, so let's do that. And that gets me N from 2 and 8 ds. So now I just need the O, there's the O, it's in a conditional, so it says if not P, we get O. Well, I have a not P right there, so O from 5 and 6 modus ponens, and now I just have to put these all together. And it takes 2 steps. First I put these 2 together, M and N from 8 and 9, conjunction junction. Then to this, M and N and O, I add that, or I conjoin that O from 10 and 12 by conjunction. Okay? So the trick was to see that you go about getting each of those conjuncts by itself and then conjoin them together to get what we were looking for. 67, I think this is our next to last problem. We have to get to P then Q, P then Q, then R. And 1, that's what we have to get to. And 1 is not I, then, not I, then R. And 2 is P, then not F. And 3 is P, then Q, then not I. And 4 is not F, then Q. All right. All right. So I don't see that big blob anywhere in the premises as a unit. I don't see its opposite as and C in conditional. So now I notice this is conditional, so I'm thinking, go get this, P then Q, then blank, and blank then R. Go do that, and then you'll snap them together by hypothetical syllogism, okay? And we'll see if that works. So first thing, get to the P, then Q, then something. P, then Q, then something. Oh, P, then Q, then, yeah. So I have it right here, okay? So now do I have a blank, then R? I do right here. So I need to get it, so I need a not I. And where am I going to get a not I? I can get a not I from line 3 if I had P then Q, which I don't have, but I can put one together from 2 and 4. Get P then Q, 2, 4, HS. And I can use this on line 3 and get not I, 3, 5, modus ponens. Then with not I can get not I, then R. That's R. That's 1 and 6 modus ponens. Now look at 3 and 7. I can get rid of the middleman, as it were. P, then Q, then R. 3 and 7 hypothetical syllogism. I think I did this differently in the other section. I don't know, but that does work. Okay. What did I do? I vaguely remember doing something different. Okay. 69. So our last problem for the day. We have to get Q, then R, or G.